Hey friends, welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk about data privacy and data security. How are they different? How does it affect you and why you should care about it? If you like our content, please click subscribe and press the bell icon. Most of the time, an average consumer is unable to distinguish between data privacy and data security. Many companies claim to have their platform or service very secured, and the consumer puts their trust in them, feeling that their data would be secured. But what they need to think is whether their data, which gets collected by the service, honors the privacy of the user. To do that understanding, the difference between the claims of privacy and security is very important. Data security refers to the process of protecting data from unauthorized access and data corruption throughout its life. The key word to focus here is unauthorized. So if a company or a service or an app claims that they would keep a user data secured, this means that they would ensure that there is no access to your data without an authorization. So what would happen if they allow a third party to access your data? This is where it becomes tricky. And this is where we need to understand what does data privacy means. Data privacy is also known as information privacy. By definition, means that being sensitive to personal identifiable information or sensitive information which can establish a person's identity based on the data which is collected. Improper or non-existent disclosures can be the root cause of these privacy issues. Data privacy issues can arise from certain types of data that is accessed and analyzed from large sources. Some of those sources can be your health record, your financial transactions, your geographic record, location-based services or geolocation, web surfing behaviors, and user preferences using persistent cookies. So you might be wondering, why do companies want to get your personal data and preferences? And why you should worry about that? Well, it's all about the ability to sell you stuff and influence you. Historically, if someone wanted to communicate to the masses, they relied on traditional tools like TV ads, newspaper ads, etc. It was very costly and still not a guarantee whether they would be able to effectively communicate to their right audience. So what has changed? In today's digital age, everything we do, mostly through a smartphone, laptops or tablets, we use a slew of apps and services. In doing so, we generate tons of data regarding our behavior, our usage and our preferences. So instead of relying on mass marketing, if any company or person can narrow down their target field by understanding user preferences, wouldn't their life be easier? Let me explain with a hypothetical example. Let's take company A and company B. Now company A advertises in newspapers and TV and spends $1 million. The advertisement reaches 1 million people out there, out of which only 10,000 are interested in their product or services, and only 1,000 people end up buying it. Now let's take company B. It uses modern day analytics tools, buys third parties data, and identifies a list of 1,000 customers who would be potentially interested in their service based on their data usage patterns. It spends only $10,000 to reach 10,000 customers who are interested, and 1,000 people end up buying their product or services. This is extremely cost effective and is still okay. Where this becomes really dangerous is when company B is aware of the names of all those 10,000 peoples and can personally identify them along with their data history. If you still find this to be harmless, as you are wondering why does it matter if they know about you or your data history, well, you need to understand that there are many people or company who want to influence you and change your perception, and at times they are very successful in doing so without you even realizing it. Just take the recent history of Cambridge Analytica. How they leveraged the data from Facebook without even Facebook realizing it. It is alleged that the 2016 US election was highly influenced by different interested parties to change voter perception. We don't know how much of this is true or false, and it's very difficult to prove, but Facebook themselves admitted that their platform was indirectly responsible for some third parties influencing the election, but it cannot estimate the extent of the influence. The idea of such a possibility is very dangerous and at times challenges the very fabric of democracy. Instead of relying on the merits of a product or services or the merits of a person, we see people with the best data succeeding, and you as a consumer end up being affected by it. If you're still not convinced about data privacy, here is another example about Wells Fargo account fraud scandal. In this case, the bank employees misused the data of account holders, created user bank accounts and ordered credit cards without their consents. Employees also created fraudulent checking and savings account, a process that sometimes involved the movement of money out of legitimate account users. Bankers were able to control the clients' accounts and were able to enroll them in various online banking services and charge them for that. There were around 3.5 million fraudulent accounts and more than 500,000 credit card accounts created. This was a data privacy fraud on a massive scale, impacting more than 4 million account users. This was possible as the bank did not take proper measures on user data privacy, and the employees had access to all the data to create these fake accounts and do fraudulent transactions. This is the reason why there are tons of services and apps which are mining your data even without your authorization and making money by simply selling it. We here at Pixelurk are not against digital marketing, as we understand this is a very effective tool. But the privacy of the person is paramount, and the identity of a person being revealed to third parties wanting to influence them is simply unacceptable. While policies like GDPR are a step in the right direction and puts the ownership of the data back to the individual, it is your responsibility to ensure that your personal data remains both private and secured. We'll give you some simple tips that you can follow to ensure that your data remains secured and private. Number 1. When installing an app, just check what kind of data it is requesting to access and only give permission to the data that you feel you are okay to share and is necessary to use the app. Number 2. Always check news sources for list of apps which mine your data even without your authorization. Number 3. Do not share your personal info like email, phone numbers with any unknown person you do not trust, and definitely never share your banking information with anyone. Number 4. Clearing your browser history does not protect your data. However, using incognito mode in some browsers can ensure your privacy to a certain extent only. There are some browsers which promise to keep your personal data safe from websites that you are browsing, but we would advise to do a thorough research on those. Number 5. Keep your operating system of your device like your smartphone and PC up to date. Use antiviruses in PC to prevent malwares and keyloggers from accessing your data. While all these are some ways to ensure privacy, it is still very difficult to completely keep your data secure. The best tip would be to always ensure that all your devices, operating systems, apps and services that you use are reliable and trustworthy, because they are the ones who access your data. So it is very important for you to feel secured and have a confidence that your data is private. Hope this video was helpful and you would take necessary steps to protect your own data. Please share this with your loved ones so that they can understand the difference between data privacy and data security and can take steps to ensure that their data remains private and secured. If you liked our video, please click subscribe and press the bell icon so that you can continue to receive our latest videos. Thanks and have a good day.